and welcome to Ed Talk. I'm Scott Lay, Nevada County Superintendent of Schools, and this is the show that discusses educational topics that impact our local schools. Today, I'm really excited because we're going to talk about something that is new to our county, doesn't happen in a lot of other counties, so we're kind of one of the leaders in it. It is the Nevada County Youth Commission, which was just recently formed. My guest is Mackenzie Rist. Mackenzie was part of the 14 interns who worked on the project, started the project, maybe got talked into the project, we'll find out, shepherded it throughout the summer, and presented in front of the Board of Supervisors, and now it's taking on the next stage, so I'm excited. So Mackenzie, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. You're a student at Nevada Union.
Yes.
And so we appreciate you coming over here. I hope you didn't have to leave early or miss any classes. I might get in trouble by your teacher. I'm not sure.
No.
Even though I'm superintendent of schools, you know, sometimes that doesn't carry any sway with that. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Mackenzie Rist. I'm a junior at Nevada Union. I'm involved in a lot of sports and leadership there at the school as well.
Nice. With that, now this project, the Nevada County Youth Commission, when it started, it wasn't the Youth Commission because it had not been formed yet. You were part of a group, I think, that got labeled as the founders, the
Yes.
creators. So how did this come about? How did you hear about it?
So my leadership teacher, Peter Tatunchi at Nevada Union, sent it out to our group and looked into it. I filled out the application, and then Jeff Dellis and Karen Mueller, who helped push this forward for Allison Lehman, they interviewed us, and I got accepted. So then we started work and worked all through the summer.
All through that. Now, for those in the audience, you might know, Allison Lehman is our county chief executive officer. This was a project I know she was very passionate about, as well as several of our supervisors and staff at the county. Karen Mueller works in probation, wonderful person, one of the movers and shakers for students in our county. And Jeff Dellis is a longtime educator in Nevada County, worked for years at Nevada Joint Union High School District currently, and the Nevada City School District at Seven Hills. So great mentors to move you along with that. So with this project, what spoke to you about when you saw the advertisement about doing this project? Why'd you go, I'm going to take my summer and do this?
So from leadership, I see all sorts of stuff that happens inside and out of Nevada Union all the time, and I see so many different perspectives and hear so many different things all the time. I figured that doing this, I could really put my knowledge and everything I've learned from leadership into this, just to get like the most inclusion and the most out of it that we could as a group.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now with that, the project, what was the goal of this youth commission? When we say there's a youth commission, people go, what's a youth commission?
Yeah.
Well, how would you describe that?
I describe the youth commission, they're kind of a body off of the Board of Supervisors who will advise them in making decisions if they need, and kind of start to incorporate the youth within the county so that our future is being heard, because the youth are the future. And so that was kind of our purpose, to get this organization up and running, to include people from all districts in the county and get that going, so then we could have our voices heard as well. Which
is great. I love that this commission's happened, and that the students have that voice. And they've always had a voice, but this is going to be a particularly strong avenue.
Yeah.
They'll have the ear of the Board of Supervisors and decision makers in the county, which is awesome for that. I got to say, I was watching this as it went along over the summer. Got to come to a couple of sessions. Very impressed with the 14 of you, wise beyond your years, and the passion that you all showed and the different backgrounds you all had. It was great. So let's go through what the summer looked like. You start the project. The 14 of you meet with Karen Mueller, with Jeff Dellis. What did you do first?
So we broke into 3 committees. We had a bylaws committee, which ended up continuing through most of the summer while we did other work. And then we had a media outreach committee, so that they made our logo and then just kind of involved all of the community partners and how we would work with them moving forward. And then we also had a rollout team. So their job was to basically infer that we would be passed, because at that point we weren't really sure. So they would work as if we had been passed, so that all of the applications and everything we needed moving forward after that meeting would be available to us. So they also created the website that is on the Nevada County website.
I didn't even know you had a website.
Yeah, it's underneath the CEO and then community involvement.
Very cool. With it. Now, did you have models to go from other counties that have done this?
Yes, so there's, I believe, 7 other counties within Nevada County, or the California, that also have youth commissions, but we are one of the first rural counties to have it. We did take a peek at San Francisco and Marin counties, and then Yuba County also has one, but yeah, we didn't use theirs too much.
Did use theirs too much.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, so you start that, you broke up into your 3 committees. You each have your tasks. Along the way, I know there was some kind of insight into some jobs in Nevada County as well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we all got the opportunity to choose kind of where we wanted to go within the county and meet and shadow someone. I ended up particularly getting to have a pretty unique experience. I got to meet with so many people. I met with Jeff Thorsby, who's the management analyst for the Board of Supervisors, and his job is very complex, so that was cool to see. I even met with one of the Board of Supervisors, and then I met with OES. But there were other groups that went to the legal team, and then we also had Health and Human Services and some other job shadowing opportunities as well. But we did get to be immersed in more of what the county does, because there's so much more happening than people see.
Yeah, which is great. So you could have the doors open to see what's going on. Yeah. And I know so they even did a ride-along, I think, with some sheriff's officers.
They did, yes.
In courthouse. Anything there that surprised you, or you went, oh, I didn't know that happened in Nevada County?
A dog license.
Dog license.
That's a wide thing, but I didn't know that was a thing. That was actually one of our first days. We did a scavenger hunt. And we had to find where to get one, and I never heard of it. I have grown up around the county, though, because my parents and grandparents worked there, so.
I never knew.
Yeah.
The dog license procedure.
Yes.
I think you may be in the majority, but it's good to know that we have that. Yeah. We should be licensing our dogs, and that way if the dog gets lost, we can find the dog and send them back to the rightful owner. With that, so it's great. So you got that. You're moving along. About how long did it take each of the groups to come together to go, okay, I think we're ready to give our pitch to the Board of Supervisors to make this thing fly?
So we had till July 24th. So we didn't actually present till the 8th, but all of our stuff had to be into the platform.
By the 20th. And where did you start?
24th.
It had to be done by July 24th. When was the starting date?
We started around June 15th,
that
a little before that.
I didn't realize it was that fast of a timeline.
Yeah.
That was pretty aggressive.
No, yeah, it was all summer. We had 1 week of no work during the summer, and then the rest we worked all the way through. And I mean, there were some times when a lot of us were questioning whether or not we'd meet that, because we would get held up on something. But once we, of course, pushed through it, we had all of our stuff in, and that went really smoothly.
Right. Okay, so then you get it done. You check off. I'm sure it was Karen and Jeff kind of going, okay, I think we're ready. Probably ran it through Allison Lehman and a few others, maybe Jeff Thorsby. And now it's time to put the presentation together, because the whole thing is now you've got to do it in a public board meeting. And so what did you do to prepare for that?
Well, we had a rollout committee and a steering committee. So the rollout committee prepared our presentation, and then the steering committee was members of the community and different community partners for nonprofits that kind of guided us in our work throughout the summer. And we gave a presentation to them, and then we also had just a bunch of practice days so that we could rehearse.
Yeah, and I was lucky I got to be at one of those practice times, acting as the Board of Supervisors, and it was great watching you. I mean, you were all so poised. I thought, my gosh, I couldn't have done that when I was a junior or senior in high school. But the way you came up and the way you spoke as a group and kind of paced it, so I moved along. So you went through that. I think we gave you some feedback of some things like, hey, look at this, look at that, and then it's time. It's on the Board of Supervisors agenda. How did you feel with that coming up? Were you nervous? Were you?
I was
Or
pretty
felt good?
nervous.
Uh-huh.
I knew we had a lot of support from within the county and some of the Board of Supervisors that we had talked to, but it was still nervous just like getting up there and the questions that they may be asking and the questions the public may have. But we went up there and it was pretty successful.
Yeah, I was there. You did a really good job. The group did. It was fantastic. And one of those things I know the Board of Supervisors loved it. They were like, yep, yep, yep. Their enthusiasm was great. I think it was exciting for them to have this voice that they can turn to.
Yeah.
So now you've got it. We've got it. It's official. You were considered the group they called the Founders, the original 14. Now we have the Youth Commission. How many are going to be on the Youth Commission?
There will be 7 to 15. The applications closed a couple weeks ago.
Oh, good.
Interviews have been happening. So that's kind of where we're moving from here.
And what about the age range? Who were you looking for?
We're looking for 14 to 19-year-olds.
14 to 19-year-olds. And I know you were looking for a variety in the county.
Yeah.
Right? You wanted to get as many students as from many different walks of life, if you call it that,
Yes.
to be on this.
Yeah, we want as much diversity so that we can get as many ideas and opinions and perspectives,
Great.
which is really important.
So of that, is there a set number then between the 7 and 15, I think you said 15, 7, 15? Or is that going to be dependent upon how the interviews went? Do you know?
So there must be 7, so 5, or 1 from each of the 5 districts in the county, and then 2 free,
Okay.
kind of not set by
Kind
district.
of at will, right?
Yeah. And then 15 to 7, we weren't quite sure how many applications we would get. And comparing to other counties and ratio of our population, we estimated about that, especially since it's the first year. And then if we end up getting a ton of interest, we can always go in and change the bylaws and potentially amend that.
Do you know how many candidates you had?
I have
curious.
no clue.
No idea. I just didn't know because the first year, you're right. It's always the word's not out all the way yet, and so it'll be. I'm sure it's year 2, year 3.
I do know that we had like a good amount, but I had to go through the same interview process as everyone else. So
Now, did you apply to become one?
I
of the-
did.
You did. All right. That's great. I know because the Founders did not have a free ride into the next round, did you?
they did not know.
Because
We
it's
had
a
to do all the
different
same
task.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because you're completely different. This was to build it, and now the task of the group is to fly this.
Yes.
And go. So when will you know who's on?
Well, I have already gotten my confirmation.
You're on.
So I'm on it.
Congratulations,
Thank
Mackenzie.
you.
That's great.
I'm not quite sure about other people yet, though, because interviews are still happening and being completed.
Right.
I believe they either finish today or tomorrow.
Okay.
And then our group will meet and get started.
And do you have a start date then? Is there, there must be at least a rough timeline of, okay, here's when meeting 1's going to happen?
I'm not sure when meeting 1 is, because they'll send out a big email or something when everyone who is chosen gets accepted, and we'll probably start sometime in October.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this
this
month.
month.
Wow. Go in there. And do you have like an agenda? Like what is the first thing the Youth Commission is looking to tackle or?
So the first thing mainly is just, of course, to get to know each other and working with each other. But then once we all meet, we can discuss topics that we feel are very important to us, and then work from there and see how
Decide
we
from that.
can
Okay,
tackle
that's
those.
great. I like that because it's not an adult generator
Exactly.
like, okay, Youth Commission, here's the 5 topics the adults came up with, tackle them. You're going to generate your own,
Yep.
very nice, and then decide which speaks to you, I'm sure, first. Look for timeliness. Any idea how many topics a year? Was that any part of the, building this Youth Commission? Because sometimes you can take on too many things
Yeah.
and it gets watered down and nothing gets done, is it?
Yeah, so that's kind of the importance of like the chair position to make sure that we can take on these things. And we have discussed tackling like 5 to 7 things a year. And especially with Christmas coming up, there's different events happening around town where we can get our word out and then really get our messages out to
Good,
people.
good. Any topics that you've heard discussed that you think that are possibilities for this first year?
Mental health is a big one.
Good.
And especially rolling out of COVID, so many things are changing all the time that is a big one to focus on and not forget about.
I would agree. Yeah, we're doing a lot in our county, and we can do more, and making sure that what we're doing is actually impacting our youth the way we're hoping it to. So that's great. Anything else you want to tell us about the Youth Commission?
Our meetings will be open to the public, so when we know those dates, you should check the Nevada County website.
Okay.
And come in and join in and voice your public opinion.
You got the visit there, and I'd love to get a link from my website,
Yeah,
the
of course.
Superintendent of Schools, so we could push that word out further and get as much activity. Yeah, I look forward to working with the Youth Commission. I've already got in my head what are some possibilities I can bring them in to have you help me out with things, again, that we think are critical for our youth.
Yeah.
But I always want to find out from the youth, is that what you're thinking as well, or is that not such a big deal? And this is what you should be working on.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, Mackenzie, I want to really thank you for taking time off for this to come in and here, and then for the entire summer. You know, as I was saying, I was there. I got to watch some of this going on. I was so impressed with the 14 of you, how hard you worked, how serious you took it, how professional you were. And the other thing that you probably didn't get to see, but I got to see as an outsider to watching this, was the joy and the excitement on your faces when it went to the Board of Supervisors and, you know, they voted and it all came through. So fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
and
me.
I wish you the best in the rest of your junior year.
Thank you so
and,
much.
And best of luck on the Youth Commission.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join us next time.